because I know she works hard for us. So let's keep her and her family in our prayers, and really everyone who's been sick with the COVID and the flu. Let's keep all of them in our prayers. Everybody bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, I'd like to thank you for allowing us all to gather here today, dear Heavenly Father, and may you strengthen us and keep us wise, dear Heavenly Father, that we may be able to make the best decisions for our children in this county. Dear Heavenly Father, be with those that are sick and need, and those that we spoke about, dear Heavenly Father. May you touch them and heal them, dear Heavenly Father. Most importantly, dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for letting your Son down on the cross for our sins. In your heavenly name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing we got on the agenda tonight is consent items. I think we have, I think Mr. Glover, you said you want to pull item E.
Yes, sir, if we could just vote on all of them and pull item E. I got a question on
Okay, that's not a problem. And like I say, I hope all of you had a chance to look over all these consent items. Any other, somebody want to pull anything else before we bring this to a vote? If not, do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, any more discussion on? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now, Mr. Glover has some questions about the consent item E.
Yes, sir. It's just speaking about the signs for Carthage Elementary. I noticed on the paper it talks about 2 scoreboards. Are those included with that?
Now, there may be some confusion. I don't think there'd be scoreboards that, I looked at that too. But I
There's
think
not.
I thought it might have been a copy paste from the middle
It
school.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no scoreboards, it's just the installation
Of the sign.
marquee.
The sign,
Of the
it'd be very
sign.
similar to what Union Heights done.
That's all I wanted to
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
because I didn't feel as if
Yeah, I
there was
think
a
it's-
need
I
for
think
any
it's crossed
scoreboards
over.
at Carthage Elementary. So
Yes.
All right, do we have a motion on that?
make a motion to approve that.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Go superintendent's actions. You've all had a chance to look at all that. Any questions? If not, we'll go on to new business. First item on that new business is the special education contract for 21-22. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Is this something we normally do with a surrogate?
We have to have different backgrounds, different parents involved, so we can let them act as in case a parent can't stand in.
Okay.
They have to meet certain criteria. We have some that speak different languages, different backgrounds.
All right, that's fine. I didn't know, this is the first time I've come across it, so
Yeah,
I just wondered.
it should be, every year there'll be some float on here for different reasons on that.
Okay,
They're just kind of on standby. They meet the criteria in case we need to pull one for an IEP or a parent wouldn't be available.
yeah. Okay.
Any more discussion? Marty, we're on new business, special education contract 21-22.
Which one is that?
And that'd be on new business item A.
Which one are you saying? C?
The
Okay.
item A.
A, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got it
You
marked right.
guys already got a motion second. Any more discussion? If not, I'm gonna have a roll call vote. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCallum?
Yes.
Taylor absent. Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Who's absent, myself, yes. Marty, on anything that we've had so far, the consent items, we did have to pull one.
Yeah.
Item E was for the installation of a digital marquee sign at Carthage Elementary. There was some miscommunications on how that was, and it was not having to put up scoreboards, it's just a sign only.
Okay.
They kind of moved the paperwork from off of middle school over with it, but it's not, it's just a marquee sign. That's all
Okay,
it is.
okay.
Let's go to item new business B. And I think before that we get into voting on this is an approval for a youth and family resource curriculum for the middle school and the high school, excuse me. And I have here tonight Ms. Barbara Knappel. She's the one that's head of this program, and I'd like for her to give her a few minutes here to talk to y'all about that and answer any questions you have before we do any voting on this. So, Ms. Barbara.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all so much for letting me be here. I just appreciate what you all do for the community. And I love this new setup. It's been a long time since I've been here. When I was on county commission, and I served there for 12 years, and I was here at the meetings a lot. But I just want to give you a little bit of my history with the Smith County school system, for those of you that may not know me. I started out, this tells you my age, I started out working as a substitute teacher when my kids were in school under Mr. Anderson. So that's been a long time ago. And then I served as a paraprofessional with adult education under Debbie Kylan. And then I began to work with, just as a youth advocate, always everything that I've done throughout my career has been a youth advocate. So I began with Break the Cycle, which is an abstinence education program that I went into the schools through guidance and wellness classes and the after-school programs. And that was under Mr. Lewis, and I taught that in counties in Middle and East Tennessee, and that was grant funded. Continued to teach that in the Smith County schools after the grant ran out because I felt like it was so important in our school system. And then I've taught prevention education in the schools, churches, and local programs. That's director of the Drug Prevention Coalition, and you know I did that for about 10 years. And now, for the last 10 years, I'm also the director of the Youth and Family Resource Center here in Smith County, serving middle and high school students. So with being old, age and experience, I've come to believe that the greatest lesson we can learn in life is how to have healthy relationships. I think careers are wonderful, college is important, but really we're going to be with people every day in our jobs, with our friends and our families, and of course in our marriages. And so we want those things to come at the right time, and I really believe that that is what allows us to have success and joy in our lives. So I've seen many lives change forever, both physically, socially, emotionally, through the decisions that they've made as teenagers, and I bet you guys have too. Because teenagers are at that most critical decision-making time of their lives, but their brains are still developing and forming until about their age 25. So they need all of us to make sure that they have the skills and the tools to make those good decisions. I've seen those teenagers that have made unhealthy decisions. My sister being one of them. My sister became a teen parent at about age 15. Beautiful girl, very smart, could have been very successful. She gave up her goals and dreams, dropped out of high school. Of course, in that day, you married someone. They don't do that as much anymore, but she got married to someone that she barely knew. So I watched her entire life just kind of go downhill from there, never got out of the poverty level. So I've seen it happen not only with my family, but lots of kids over the years. I've been doing this at least 20 years in Smith County. So it's very important that we as youth advocates give them the tools they need to avoid the roadblocks to success, and I believe that's what this curriculum does. I tell almost every class that I teach, the chief cause of guilt and regret as adults is that during the teen years, we choose what seems fun for the moment rather than holding out for what's best for our future. But I also tell every class this. I heard a minister say this years and years ago when I was doing FCA in Wilson County. 3 things that we're all going to do in our lives. We're going to listen to someone, we're going to do what they say, and we're going to live with the consequences. And then I ask the kids, so what do we get to choose in there? And they'll say whether to do it or not. And I'll say, no, we're all of us, we're going to listen to someone, we're going to do what they say, and we're going to live with the consequences. What do we have to choose? And of course, the correct answer is, sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't, but the correct answer is, who are they going to listen to? So we have a lot of media that's given them false information. I would not want to be a teenager in the day and age that we live in now. So this Real Essentials curriculum uses social emotional learning, short interactive lessons that build self-esteem, that teaches them to respect themselves and others, and to increase skills in healthy decision making. The advanced curriculum for high school and the starting point curriculum for middle school focuses on building a life plan for a successful future. And I tell the kids anything that we're going to be successful at begins with a plan, including healthy relationships. So Real Essentials talks about the sequence to success. When we get things out of sequence in our lives, we suddenly don't have a strong foundation on which to build a future. And they are given so much false information through the media. So these classes are going to give them evidence-based education as they move in that critical time from adolescence to adulthood. These classroom lessons and discussions offer a safe and educational environment to learn the difference between love and commitment versus infatuation. The only thing that's going to protect them 100% from the physical and emotional consequences is choosing prevention and abstinence until marriage. And we want them to have the skills to make that decision, because they're going to make that decision on their own. But we can give them as much information as skills as we can. And so just a couple of examples of things I've seen over the years, teaching this for so many years here. One of the lessons that we're asked to teach under Title V is teen dating violence. And I was in a school actually here in this county, it's probably been 8 or 10 years ago. And there was a girl, a high school girl, that began to cry after the class and told me that she wished she'd heard that class about 4 months ago, that she was being abused by her boyfriend. And so I do a juvenile class at the spot, kids that have gone to court and have gotten a violation of some sort. And this girl had a citation for marijuana, using marijuana. And when I asked her why she started using that, she said, after I started a middle school relationship and treated it more like a marriage than as a dating relationship that it should have been, or just a friendship, even better. But she said after using marijuana, after breaking up with that person, and we treated that like a marriage, she said the emotional pain was so great I used marijuana to cover that pain. And so the other thing that I wanted you guys to look at, and then I'll take any questions that you have, hopefully I'll answer them or I'll find you an answer. But do you guys have this in the scope of services from our grant? I want you to know the foundation. We're funded by the Department of Health to teach this to middle school and high school students. And I am teaching it here in the county at the spot. I'm teaching it in homeschool groups right now that would love to have it in Smith County schools as well. Very similar to what I've always taught in the schools here. But if you guys have that, it's at a minimum, the grantee is going to provide the following services. And this is from the Department of Health. So look at number 4. And that's going to tell you the guidelines that we have to follow. And I hope that's going to help you guys understand that we stay strictly within those guidelines. The holistic, individual, and societal benefits associated with personal responsibility, self-regulation. And I feel like self-regulation is so needed for that teacher to be able to teach in that classroom. If those students have that. Goal setting, healthy decision making, and a focus on their future. The advantage of refraining from non-marital sexual activity to improve the future prospects and physical and emotional health of that youth. The increased likelihood of avoiding poverty when youth attain self-sufficiency and emotional maturity before engaging in sexual activity. The foundational components of healthy relationships and their impact on the formation of healthy marriages and safe and stable families so that we have stable parents for the next generation. The effect of other youth risk behaviors, how drug and alcohol use increases teenagers having sex before they're in a committed marriage relationship, and strategies on how to resist and avoid and receive help regarding sexual coercion and dating violence, recognizing that even with consent, teen sex remains a youth risk for that youth, for that family, for schools, and for our community. So that is what we are required by the Department of Health to teach inside those guidelines. And that's really the only thing that's going to protect our children 100%. And that's the only thing that I will teach, is whatever's going to protect our children 100%. So,
Okay, then what I think Mr. Glover, you had some questions.
I did. I agree with a whole lot of what you said and everything, but I just had a couple questions.
Sure.
Exactly what grade levels are we looking at teaching
We
this
are,
curriculum?
we are asked to teach age 10 to 19, but it is, we have the middle school curriculum that's called Starting Point. And so they're gonna receive age-appropriate information. And again, it's about decision-making, it's about self-esteem, it's about setting boundaries.
You talk about middle school though, I mean, we got 9 schools in this county and middle school is different in each one of them. So what grade levels are we looking at teaching teen pregnancy?
Well, in middle school, we're not teaching teen pregnancy
Okay.
prevention, but everything that we're teaching is gearing them towards that. How they can respect themselves, how they can set healthy boundaries, what's a healthy friendship, how to be a good friend, self-esteem. So those are not going to be in the middle school. And we have taught, what we did with our Break the Cycle program, we taught 6th grade through 12th grade. But we separated the curriculums for sure. And I've given you a topic list on middle school versus high school.
And when will this be taught? Will we be taking classroom time away from kids to teach a class of this? or-
Again, what we've done in the past is we have been a guest speaker in guidance, and we have been a guest speaker with wellness.
Mr. Glover, we would probably integrate it if it's something the schools and the board showed, we would integrate during owl time and
Okay.
tiger time would have affect classroom time.
Okay,
Yeah,
All
in
right.
the past it hasn't affected. And I've got lots of teacher references over the years that appreciated it, and I haven't had any parent complaints or teacher complaints.
listen, I appreciate you, everything you do with the court systems. I know I work there, so.
Yeah, yeah,
But I needed to get these out.
absolutely.
Is this something that's taught in other districts?
It's taught all across Tennessee, yes.
Okay.
I've taught it from here to Knoxville.
And is there an option where parents can either opt out if their kid taking this class?
If that's what you want them to do, yes, they can.
Would we have to put that in the curriculum? Would we have to put that if they wanted to opt out?
No, in the past, I think we'd had some mix-up on communication, and we felt like some information that got in a particular packet that neither one of us was aware of, so we always let Jamie review it, make sure there's anything that's not appropriate that we deem that way, and then at that point, if we chose, we'd just go ahead, once he approved it, and integrate it if that's something.
It's not a required course.
Yeah, right.
So they don't have to-
Right.
Okay. That's all I have.
And it would have an option to opt out. I mean, if anybody didn't want to do it, we always allow them. I think our board policies even built that way. Anything in the curriculum, you can choose to opt out, so.
And there is a pre-post test that the Department of Health requires us, but it says on the very front page, if you're not comfortable taking this, you can opt out of this. Skip any questions that you like, and it's completely anonymous. I don't look at their answers. They go directly to the Department of Health. And that gives them an understanding statewide if this curriculum is making a difference in kids.
And are you the one that's actually going to be teaching the class, or do you have other people?
I am
that's gonna be doing it?
certified in teaching that, and I have 2 other students that are certified as well. They have the training, and they are actually college students, the 2 that are certified now. So 3 of us.
That's all I have.
And it would be up to each individual class if what topics they wanted, or, I mean, I just want to serve you all. So whatever that is going to best serve you all and the students here, that's what I want to do. But, there are a variety of topics to choose from, but I think all of them are beneficial as kids are making decisions.
Any more questions? Anybody else?
This is state funded, right? It's not costing the county nothing, us
I don't
nothing.
think.
It does not cost the county anything.
we're not.
It's funded by the Department of Health. And this is this particular grant, we've probably been funded about 5 years by the Department of Health. Of course, as you all know, grants come and go, but right now we're funded.
Is this something we've done before? Something
We've done it in the past partnership.
And it's always had good reviews, and it's,
Yeah, well, actually, we had one issue, and then we discussed that the other day, and I think it's the things you didn't know we got in there, and you wasn't aware of, and we caught it, and then Jamie called, obviously, we called here, but we just didn't deem it was appropriate, but I don't think that was anybody's fault. It just, we're having to watch a lot of curriculum right now. It's coming in that way. So, but we got safeguards in place for that. Other than that, that's only a couple of things.
Anybody else? Everybody? Thank you, Ms. Barber. Okay, we're gonna vote on this now. This item B. So, do I have a motion on it?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Jones, second?
Second.
Well, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's go on to, again, thank you, Ms. Barber, for coming in and explaining that to us. Because there was so many unanswered questions that the board had, and you've answered them all, I reckon, to everybody's satisfaction, so.
I'm happy to do that anytime, but I've got about 15 young boys at the spot, so I'm gonna run back over.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, let's go to item C here. It's a request to approve E-rate mini bids for technology. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, discussion on it? Not, let's have a roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McHale?
Yes.
Absent. Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis absent. Myself, yes. Okay, item D. It's your request to approve 2 state master contracts for technology. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's go. All right, we're gonna get into, that's everything for the regular, we're gonna get into the discussion now. Mr. McCallum wanted to bring up the regular meeting of the school board, which is always been on a Tuesday night, but he would like to discuss this, maybe changing it to Monday night. So, Mr. McCallum?
Well, you know, I'm not trying to be selfish or anything, but a Monday night, you know, I've talked around and asked different people that they've got there, and I want anybody here to feel free to speak out about it, but it would just, it just would be a situation to help me as far as being here. You know, I, of course, work, come in here a few minutes late, traffic such as that, but, you know, we don't have no, I don't see no activities that people, social events or church events on Monday nights, and Tuesday nights is a starting point for some people, but you know, I just would like the board to consider it and talk about it, what if we could move this on a Monday night, just to be able to help. I know myself, it takes out some of my time to be here on the Tuesday, which I'm committed to doing that if it stays, but I just would like to discuss that and see if it's a possibility we could move it to a Monday night. Is there any state regulations that y'all know of that would keep us?
Your meetings are set by your board policy 1.400.
Mhm.
It says held on the 3rd Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m. unless otherwise scheduled. All you'd have to do is change the policy. There's no state law that requires that. That's just what
So you
your
could-
policy is. It is. So it's easy enough to do.
Okay.
And then it would just be like, somebody mentioned like, you know, Martin Luther King did it, or on Mondays, but that's not a big issue. We just schedule around those oddity traffic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you can, just like you have to now sometimes with snow or whatever, if you have to move it for a holiday or something, you just do.
Yeah.
But I'd recommend that you put it on a consistent, like you do the 3rd Tuesday if it's the 3rd Monday.
Yeah.
That-
Right.
For your notice, that's gonna be a whole lot better for everybody.
So that's all I got.
Anybody else?
Mr. Smith, will y'all still have time enough for the package, and principals still have time enough? And would you have to issue the agendas and stuff out on Thursdays or Fridays now? Is it gonna be a problem?
It would change, it would make it a little different, but we can, if the board choose to do that, we can make it happen. It'd just be getting used to it, it'd be a little different, well, we have to change our time frame, but
Does any commissioners meet on Monday night?
That's what, Tommy?
On the third Monday night?
second Monday night.
Second Monday night, so they wouldn't meet on the third.
What day?
I was asking, was the commissioners meet?
Yeah.
But they meet on the second, not the third.
Right.
What was the reason?
There's
we
city
don't do
meetings
that?
on Mondays too.
It's way before, do you know, Jamie?
It's just been that way ever since I've been
Just
here.
is because it is, I mean, I guess it's just always has been.
It's always when it was said.
There's city meetings on Mondays also, so I
The
don't
what?
know what. There are city meetings that are set on Mondays.
Town of Forestville is the second Monday. Town of Carthage is on Thursday, usually, I believe.
So-
I'm not sure which one. I know about South.
Hmm.
Forestville's on the second Monday.
I've been dealing with, like I say, I was on the board back years ago, and it was that way
Just
then.
because it was?
Yeah, it was just because it was, so. Mr. Winkler, would it be correct to put it on the agenda for next month to put it in regular business to change the board policy?
Yes, sir, you can do that, and if you wanted to start that next month, all you'd have to do is make a motion that it be held. You've got enough time for notice, so you could actually start it in March if that's what you wanted to do, and put it on the agenda going forward. You could do a motion that the next month's meeting be held on that Monday, and then on that agenda going forward if you wanted to. Or you could just hold the next one on Tuesday with that one agenda item, either way.
Why don't we
Yeah.
hold the next one on Tuesday?
Yeah, and another thing, we were talking about doing a retreat on April on a Tuesday also. So until we decide on what date we got.
I would like to put it on the agenda to vote for it the next, put it on board, put it on the agenda to vote the next board meeting. That way possibly we can have our other two
Mm-hmm.
board members here, and then if there's any more questions about it or anything, we can handle it then. I think that.
Perfectly fine.
Have we decided the date? Are we gonna do the third
No,
Monday?
no, yeah, the third Monday, is that,
I don't know, is that what we're
yeah, I mean, is that
talking about?
what? we
That's
want?
what, yeah,
Monday,
Yeah, third Monday.
yeah. If that suits you guys.
And then put it on, like I say, we'll put it on the agenda to vote on it then, we'll still meet at our regular Tuesday time this next month.
Is there a lot of holidays falls out on Mondays?
A lot of
so we would
holidays
say
falls on Monday.
Tuesday, till we vote on it, I mean, which would be next month's on time, regular.
Yeah, regular,
Okay.
nothing's changed until we vote on
We
it
get
and.
time and a
make
half
it-
pay
And all
for
the
that.
ones that's on
Change it.
Friday's gonna be carried over to Monday, on holiday, on Saturday.
And plus, this will give everybody a chance to.
Yeah,
Roll us around and make sure this is what we want to do,
yeah,
so.
And if
yeah.
you decide next month that it needs to be a different day, if it's on the agenda, a different Monday or a different day.
Yeah.
There's no problem in changing that.
Right.
You'll just style the agenda item, meeting date set or something like that. We'll leave it loose enough that it can be discussed.
Okay, next item discussed is rescheduling our school board retreat. And Ms. Gina, I think, what, March 22nd and April the 19th, is that
Yes.
correct? And that's, we've got to,
Yes, and I called her about the other day, and she was already scheduled.
so,
So I could have scheduled her on April 19th, but I talked to Mr. Smith and we decided her earliest was March 22nd. So we thought we'd give y'all that date too. In case you like that
Both,
day better.
Mr. Joe Taylor wanted me to let, know he could be here any day, be fine with him. And, Mr. Scotty, of course, he wanted everybody to know why he wasn't here tonight, because he had an accident. I just want everybody to know there's no bowling balls injured in that bowling balls, but they did. But both of them said they were fine with whatever date y'all come up with.
Well, I will tell you, Ms. Norma, I've talked to her, and she's gonna try to, if we do it on April 19th, she's gonna try to do your budget overview that day also. So maybe you wouldn't have to schedule a work session extra for your budget, to go with the budget. Just throw that out there.
And you can still have a work session. It'd be good though for her to get on your mind if there's things you want to ask her.
Personally, I have no problem with either date, it's just what everybody else wants
I
to do.
don't
I don't have any
have a
problem.
problem with the date either.
So. So Gina, you're thinking April the 19th, is that what you, would be better?
Well,
To
if
get
you,
the,
Is that good with everybody
if
here?
you do it that day, she can, we can take care of more stuff on that day.
right,
It's closer to budget time.
The third Tuesday.
It's also Easter weekend. It's the
Easter
weekend before.
weekend.
It's April 19th, third
So-
Tuesday.
Yeah, they-
Where it
Yes,
would
yes,
normally
it's
fall on our
the-
meeting.
Right.
Sunday and then Monday, Easter Monday, and then the board.
so, everybody,
Makes
Good
no
with
difference,
Tom?
to me. Yeah, it makes no difference to me, whatever you want to do, I
Okay.
don't care.
So April
everybody-
19th.
April 19th, and that's. Now, the only, we got their annual policy review. I guess y'all had a chance to look at all of that. Mr. Winter, you don't have anything for executive session, correct? Anything else anybody would like to discuss before I adjourn this meeting? If not, do I need to have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?